Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 16053 Southeast Talina Drive here in Damascus. Located at the front of the house, I describe everything as if you're standing in the street, or in this case the driveway, facing the front of the home in general. So we're just to the left of the front doorway. We're out from the patio just a little bit. Your cleanout lines up with kind of the bottom support post, or the second in from that. Right out here. It's a little further out than your average cleanout is. So it's one to kind of take note of. These can be a little trickier to hunt down than your average cleanout because of that distance between the house. Our foot counter wasn't working there at first. All right. Anyway, dropping in a 3-inch pipe here, 3-inch ABS. We're going to zero out here at the base of the clean out. And off we go. I did notice, but we should see it here in a moment if it's related to the sewer, but there is also a clean out kind of towards the top of the driveway. It's a metal cover plate, or a flush set clean out cap. That may be a secondary clean out for the sewer line. It may also be for the storm system. Yeah, there's a tie-in right there. So that actually might be it right there. So some homes will end up with a couple. Especially longer sewer lines will have more than one. So far, quite a clean sewer line. There is just a little bit of grease underneath the water line there. It's a very minor amount, though, relative to the average home. Especially a home that was a rental. These are often lines that get, I mean, relative to the average one, renter lines are usually quite a bit more gunked up. You got the nice advantage here, too, of having a natural slope to the property, too, which usually makes it much harder for your line to belly out, have settling problems. Alright, now we're into 3034 PVC pipe, 4-inch diameter. And we should be getting out near the road here at this point. That transition typically takes place at the right-of-way or street edge. Big sewer line. There we go. And there's the main there at 123 feet. We're going to go locate that really quick here just to see where the line terminates. We're going to let the line drain out. We'll get a better look at it as we come back in, but very nice looking line moving out there. I don't suspect we're going to find anything coming back. And quite a clean sewer line to boot, too. Very, very clean line. Crazy. Alrighty, located the camera head out on Southeast Talina. So if you stand out in the road there and face up the driveway, straight out from the bottom of the driveway, you'll see a manhole. The line terminates on the downhill side of it, about 4 or 5 feet away, or 4 to 5 feet downhill from that manhole, in line with it, in case you're curious where things go. The line kind of hugs towards the left side edge of the driveway. When it gets to the base, it kind of turns and shoots out into the road. So not that necessarily matters a whole lot to you, but in case you're curious how the line's routed, it slowly kind of orients to the left side of the driveway as it makes its way down the hill, and then kind of shoots across the street a little bit of a, or it straightens out anyway once it hits the bottom of the hillside. Anyhow, if you want to keep your line clean like this is a home that was doing a good job, by and large, at keeping most of their fats and greases out of the sink. It's when you have real quantity to go down the sink. If there's enough oil, grease on your pans that if you turn the pan sideways, it runs off the pan and beads or worse. That's where you want to do something about it. Let things cool down, and either wipe it out with a paper towel or scrape it off into a garbage can after it's cooled. Or when it's still hot and liquid, you just have to pour it into a container that can handle high temperature, like a metal can of some kind. And that will mitigate the overwhelming majority of grease that goes down the line. You know, there's thin little coatings of Pam spray, stuff like that are not a big deal. Hot water and soap handles that. If you know some amount of grease is getting down line, it's a good idea, especially long lines like this. And steeper lines are actually more prone to grease buildup than flatter running lines, funny enough, because the water will start outrunning the grease as it cools down. You want to keep your hot water running for about a full minute on a line like this. That helps to keep everything melted and emulsified till it gets at least a good distance from the house or out to the main. The plus side when you have a line that runs this steep is it generally takes quite a bit more grease buildup than the average sewer line for it to start coming into play and affecting flow. It's a good living habit, helps to prevent blockages, especially when you have little kids in the household. It's hard to control what's going down the line. They flush big giant stuff down the pipe. And that tie-in there does appear to be for the clean out in the driveway. Not entirely sure why they put the second one there, but you've got two. All right, and if the clean out allows us to here, we're going to flip the camera around and run backwards. Everything from the clean out, that's a leaf that fell into the clean out, by the way. Heading back towards the home here, and we'll hit a vertical. The line looks like it comes out to the left of the doorway. The line's actually running at a pretty good angle. It doesn't go straight back towards the home. Based on the trajectory the clean out is running at here, it looks like the line's gonna, you know what, flip around on me. Bear with me a second here, the camera flipped over on me there. There we go. All right. And it turns pretty quick to straighten out, so the line looks like it's exiting out of the house probably about 5 to 6 feet to the left of the front door. Right here, we're going to hit most likely a vertical. This one doesn't dive terribly hard as it leaves the home. Alright, at this right here, we are now back inside the crawl space. All the pipe looks good going back through the foundation wall there. Everything from that point on is all exposed piping and stuff you can crawl right up to and take a look at. I focus on the underground pipe. That's a very, very nice looking sewer line there. Great flow end to end, super clean, zero structural defects, no settling issues, nothing. Which is a pretty rare thing to be able to say for a line that's 125 feet long. Most lines this length pushing over 100 feet. The majority of them will have standing water. It's one of the nice things of having a line or a house that's pitched up on a hillside. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.